Alrighty, back to the next game, playing the brown Protoss, so the Sziky playing the yellow Terran AudemarsPiguet. Okay, really nice and interesting game. We are looking forward to. So I got Sziky to play fastest map, and well, it's always nice to see professional low map players to play on this map and to see what they plan to do at all, what are their strategies, build orders, and so on. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this game and to find out what Sziky plans to do against Sziky, who is of course a professional fastest map player, and yeah, this remains always a question: what pro low map players are able to do against pro fastest map players, because of course low map players do not have that kind of experience fastest map players have, but they have another type of experience, so to say, which fastest map players don't have. And here I am specifically talking about certain skills that you can acquire playing low maps. So, well, each map has its own characteristics, and you need to have different skills on these different maps. But yeah, people tend to say that it's so low maps are of course a bit harder, and if you become a professional there, then basically fastest map can be good for you as well. But of course, this map also has its own timings and own styles and so on. What I tend to say, and I like to summarize the difference between the two maps with one sentence, which is yeah. So low map is about finding out what you can do with low resources, and fastest map is about finding out what you can do with lots of resources and fast. So what you can do at the same time, because on fastest map everything happens really quick, you have to make decisions really fast and so on. So yeah, as you have lots of resources, you have lots of possibilities. So basically on fastest map you have more possibilities to do, you have more strategies, you have more options, and well, yeah, so there are certain strategies on fastest that are the same. I mean that can be repeated, but I think games on fastest map are different. I mean you cannot really see the same game twice. Of course, there are players who do the same all the time. I mean, there are players who get used to something and they always do it. But yeah, since there are more possibilities on a fastest map, these games, I mean, yeah, so you have to accommodate, and you have to get used to certain timings, when to do something, and basically this is something low map players struggle with on fastest. So of course they know how to play StarCraft, they know everything, but they are just unsure when to do what. So when to go on with a quick drop, when to scout, when to do certain stuff and so on, when to switch a strategy. Yeah, but of course low map players like Sziky of course has or have really good micro skills, of course, unit control and so on. So yeah, that's what I expect to see in this nice PvT, and it's really exciting because basically what I like to say in my commentaries is that Protoss always wins Terran, But let's find out now what happens in this case when a Terran player is a professional fastest map player, but the Protoss one is a professional Lume player. So let's find out if this thing is valid in this case. So time to see if Sziky can make use of this race advantage, so to say. Well, okay, so of course in late game Terran is stronger than Protoss. In the very late game, yeah. But in like the first 10-12 minutes, Protoss is always stronger, unless the Terran is really a pro and like yeah, really knows what to do and how to do, and rather how to do, because in the beginning of a PvT game, the Terran has to micro his heart out. So to fight Zealots with Marines is very hard, but of course it's doable. Okay, anyways, we are looking we are transitioning into a really long macro game, which I like. So it seems Sziky just didn't. So the guys didn't really want to taste each other. They yeah, they were just fighting with a little bit with a few Marines, a few Zealots, checking each other, scouting, getting intel, but basically they are moving towards the late game where, yeah, +1 command center and +1 nexus is available for both of them. And yeah, Sziky is starting a drop defense as well, which is quite strange. And this is the thing I am always referring to in. So this is what I like to mention in some games, that Lume players tend to do well, strange things that you wouldn't expect against another pro fastest map player. So in a PvT, basically you never see such a thing. Cannons at this side. So, but that's why that's why it is so hard to fight professional Lume players on fastest map, because you never know what they are doing. I mean, you never know what you might expect. There might be lots of surprises they can do against you, and so on. So that's why Audemars is really playing standard. So he is not rushing anywhere, getting choke, getting macro, getting drop defense. He just wants to be safe for everything. Whereas Skin is off now and sees this advancement. So Sziky is coming now, but these bunkers are placed perfectly and he's not really able to get that angle. So he's not really trying. This turret is also placed nicely. So he moves back and gathers up here. Lots of Templars, lots of Zealots. Few DTs as well. Yeah, alright, so when a Terran player is choking and getting mass defense at the entrance, then of course Zealots and Templars won't work. So it only works. So this strategy and unit combination would only work if these Marines were just by themselves without a bunker. So if they weren't in a bunker, then Sziky would have won with the Templars and Zealots. But storms, of course, do not affect buildings. Alright. Okay, no upgrades yet. Okay, there's one attack upgrade, but yeah, no defense upgrade yet for Sziky, and no any upgrades for Audemars yet. Of course, he's upgrading the mech. Yeah, Terran players basically sometimes forget bio upgrades deliberately, so they do not do that. It's not needed. Tech upgrades are much important, or yeah, they are more important. So this is the point in the game when Terran becomes stronger, especially considering the fact that Sziky is basically having ground units only, and Protoss ground units against Terran ground units are quite useless, especially if the Terran army consists of mainly tanks and Goliaths. Of course, Protoss army can beat the Bio army really fast. So like Templars, Dark Templars, a few Storm and Zealots goons, they eat Bio army for breakfast. But if the Terran has lots of tech units, Goliaths and tanks as I mentioned, then well, Zealots and goons are not that good, so they are not that effective against that type of army of the Terran race. So that's why Protoss require basically actually, if I were Sziky, I would really try to attack and do something. If you are not doing anything, just basically getting maxed out and trying to attack, then you give Terran an advantage. And yeah, and Sziky is just moving outside, so he basically has the power now. He has lots of factories and so on, and basically he's already stronger than Sziky. Well, these Marines will die anyways, and he's happy to get rid of them. He doesn't need those, and he's basically getting free supplies for the extra tanks and extra vultures and so on. But this is also a perfect opportunity for Sziky just to start this attack and use the Templars, which he wouldn't be able to do if he went on to attack the choke. But right now these Marines were outside, he could storm them and they are going down. Okay, lots of storms are off, and now the ground army of Sziky is still in the background, but he's using a few Zealots and goons to attack. And he's using his storms pretty well. And right now these Dark Templars, oh my god, this is a nice move. Yeah, let's see if he manages to catch these DTs. But he seems he's not really able to. I mean, he seems he's not paying attention. He doesn't see them. So yeah, these are doing a really nice job for Sziky, because Sziky didn't catch those DTs as regards attention goes. But he can now, so of course he felt the DTs, of course, and he scanned, and now, of course, he managed to kill those. But this was a nice move from Sziky. So he managed to trade really well and use 2 DTs to kill lots of units by Sziky. But right now he's moving outside with the tanks. But these arbiters are doing a nice job. So these Zealots are killing those tanks for free. So yeah, Sziky doesn't really have a vessel, which is quite problematic for him. He has to rely on this turret and on scans, and these arbiters are really effective until they get to this section. But these arbiters can be soon used to make some status, but right now they don't have the energy. Okay, storms are off. Oh my god, really beautiful storms there. So Templars are doing a nice job. They are really storming everything they can, mostly tanks. So Sziky also started an extra base right here, and which is really nice. So yeah, you can also win a PvT in a late game if you have multiple bases, because in that case the Terran needs to split their attention. They need to split their army to be able to fight multiple bases of the Protoss, and once they are split, then of course Protoss army can be stronger. Okay, nice statics there by the arbiters, but the arbiter went down, and right now Sziky is able, Szyky is able to focus on the attack because he doesn't have to care about vessels and the scans. He's just able to move forward with his units, yeah, really nice pump there by Szyky, who is really massing on units, really sending your zealots and basically just flooding inside. But as I mentioned, tanks are much stronger than zealots, so yeah, only ground units from the Protoss is not enough, but the Protoss can fight that if they are able to switch to carriers or invest in drops. Nice EMP there, so those arbiters are now useless, but these zealots are now moving on top of the tanks. They are sieged up, so Szyky was in a better position right now, but the vultures arrived, so now they are able to clear this attack. Okay, 1-1 upgrade for Szyky and 2-0-2 upgrade for Szyky. Okay, nice micro there and also nice mines by Szyky, who is just really trying to move outside and get some map control. Right now he has to fight at the choke, but right now he's able to clear those units and now he can basically move outside with the tanks. Yep, you really need to have a map control with the Terra. You cannot be you cannot stay in your base forever. You cannot stay in your choke because then the Protoss player has lots of possibilities. But once you are outside, and if you close the Protoss, then well, they have a harder time. Okay, Szyky is just starting to move outside. Lots of Templars are here casting the storm. Storm is off. Tanks are still alive, but lots of tanks are dying right now to these extra storms. Okay, this extra base might be the key, or can be the last opportunity for Szyky to win the game, because once Terran is outside, once they are upgraded, I mean the units, then it's very hard for the Protoss player to fight that with ground units, so they need something special, carriers for example, lots of arbiters, and extra bases. So it's really useful, because with this extra base Szyky is able to pump units outside and get to the map, distract Szyky and catch the reinforcements. So this is looking good for Szyky, but yep, he will badly need something else besides ground units. Either so in this case Protoss players either have to go for mass drops or go for carriers, otherwise it's very hard. It's not impossible, but it's very hard to beat a good fastest map Terran player. Okay, but I have to say that Szyky is playing very well, and yeah, basically is playing really nicely. So doing a nice job with the arbiters, unit control, and this is what I was referring to in the beginning of the game, that low map players can bring certain skills to fastest map, like really nice micro, really nice unit control, unit combination, and so on. And also Szyky has a nice micro, so he is low on minerals basically and gas, and which means that he's really having a big army, while Szyky has more workers, of course, and that's why his army is a bit lower, of course. So he should send SCVs to die to get more supply. And basically he's using the SCVs to fight, so this is good for him for two reasons. He is getting free supplies and then of course getting free kills on the zealots. Okay, so right now he's getting more supplies. Let's see if he manages to replenish on tanks and vultures. That's what he has to do if he wants to survive. Oh my god, nice storms there on the SCVs, but as I mentioned, this is this is rather better for Sziky, so yeah, this thing was really beneficial for him. He managed to get more supply for his army. Okay, for a moment it seemed that Sziky was able to really get close to winning this game. He was really inside the base of Sziky, but he lost quite a few SCVs, got more supply, and now he's really able to. So yeah, he's maxed out now, but in a much better composition because he has much more units as his SCVs died. Alright, so Sziky is just placing a few mines in certain positions in the map just to be able to see if Sziky is expanding. Okay, 2 upgrades for Sziky and 3 upgrades for Sziky, who still only has these gateways right here and these extra gateways. So, well, these two together are fine, it's enough. But yeah, it will be better if he had just a bit more gateways, at least at home. So, because if this expansion dies, then he will be a bit low on gateways. But yeah, he has more here. So, alright, this way is totally fine, but he will have to take care of this base now. Okay, let's see if Sziky manages to make use of this phenomenon of Sziky having to split his units, because half of his units are here fighting this base and the other half is here fighting here, and this is a good opportunity for the Protoss player to fight effectively the Terran army, because yeah, if the Terran army is split, then the Protoss army is of course stronger. And yeah, Sziky is just sending more and more vultures back. He feels that he will need them to be able to fight the freshly coming units by Sziky. Right, well, this base is demolished, but it's still alright for Sziky because he has lots of gateways here and a lot of gateways here, but he will have to focus more now because he lost gateways that were really productive here, and but he's doing a nice job with replenishing and getting units back. Okay, right now he's attacking again, and he's in the choke of Sziky, who is sending all his, he's sending lots of SCVs just to fight, but they will just die as he doesn't have detection. But it's still alright with him as he has lots of gas, lots of minerals, so basically he's happy with this, and he can lose as many SCVs as he wants to. So right now he managed to get some supply. Okay, newer units are now flooding outside from the base of Sziky and heading towards the base of Sziky, who is having lots of tanks now, supported by vultures. But very effective stat is there, really nicely done there. So also the vessel is also frozen, no detection available for Sziky, so this is looking good for Sziky now. He's also adding more and more units. He's really replenishing his army. Scan is off, so right now he has a vessel in this army. So with scans and with this vessel, of course, it's much easier to fight the units of Sziky. He was really trying to advance, but these tanks are also in the way, so he's slowed down a bit. He's really trying to find a spot to move inside. Okay, that will be beautiful. Cannons. Yeah, Sziky just built 2 cannons here to kill the turrets, so he really wants to get rid of those mines and those turrets in a fancy way. So yeah, using some cannons, it's nice. But Sziky is adding more and more turrets, so Sziky will have some more work with this, and he's still not dropping. And but yeah, once he was complaining about fastest map and about drops, and he was saying that fastest map could be really nice if the drops were banned, because drops will screw up game. And well, okay, this is so of course we can agree with him. We can say that yes, of course, drops screw up the game, but this is the main characteristics of the fastest map period. So yeah, you have to go for drops. You can win a game without drops, absolutely, it's totally possible, but if you want to accelerate winning, then you have to drop. It just makes it much more effective. And yep. And yeah, maybe this is why Sziky is not dropping, because he wants to be fair. So he wants to win this game by force, and I can relate to that totally, because I'm not a dropper myself. So okay, sometimes I do drops, yeah, especially if the game cannot be won early. But I'm not a dropper type, so I like to win games by force and really pumping units, fighting hard, and so on. And Sziky does the same right now. He's really fighting, so he is making really nice decisions, really nice unit control, great use of arbiters, storms, and so on. So he's really fighting well, doing a nice job, I must say, because he's having only ground units, and he's really playing nice and making use of them. But after a time it won't really be enough. So after a certain time, especially when the Terran player is having maxed out upgrades, then Protoss ground units won't do anything. So yeah, soon basically Sziky will be able to utilize the maximum of his army, and once he kills this expansion, then it will be very hard for Sziky to stay alive. He won't really be able to get units anymore, because these gateways are not enough. But he has also started a few more gateways here, and oh my god, and that's nice. So Sziky doesn't see this, but one more gateway here, and he will discover this expansion. Okay, Arbiter is now coming inside. This will be a recall. Let's see if he manages to do that. Yep, he's doing that right now. Goons are off, Zealots are off or unloaded. Templar Storm is down, so basically Sziky lost all his SCVs, or at least a huge majority of them. But this was a nice action here. Well, I think it's a bit late, so this should have been done a bit earlier, but still, well, we can say that this is a must. If Sziky wants to survive and get back in the game and stabilize, then this was a really good move. He had to do this. Because right now Sziky is, right now Sziky is forced to stay in his base. He has to get back SCVs, he has to get drop defense and so on. Okay, so these cannons, yeah, having a nice time killing the vultures, and this encampment or this expansion is discovered by Sziky, who is not really focusing now on defense, but he's moving outside and he wants to finish this game right now. So he's moving outside, but lots of Zealots are available for Sziky, who is just attacking now and having some status with him, which is coming handy. Okay, so let's find out what happens in the next few minutes. I have a feeling that Sziky might give up, but okay, sorry guys, I missed this recall, but there was a newer recall. Templar Storm was off. He managed to kill a few SCVs. A newer Storm is off, so he was able to catch a few SCVs, and but Sziky is really low on minerals. He will have to get a few more probes if he wants to refill units fast. His macro is absolutely fantastic, and he's really doing well regarding this case. So he's really low on eco, but in return he can make lots of units because he doesn't have that many probes. Yeah, and this is what I was referring to in the beginning of the game, that if the Terran player closes you, then it's, yeah, very hard for you to get outside, while if you are Terran and closed in by the Protoss and forced in your choke, then basically it's a bit easier to come outside. But against lots of tanks, especially if you are in a corner spot and if the other player has tanks at the side, then it's almost impossible to come outside with ground units as a Protoss. So you have to have the best micro ever, the best status, the best storms, and Sziky is capable of that, but it's still, yeah, and that's why I say it's almost impossible, because even Sziky might struggle with that, as you can see. So Sziky is now moving inside and occupying the choke of Sziky, who is now really have to protect, but he has an extra base. He's coming outside, so this can be really nice for him, because Sziky will have to split his attention. He's getting back SCVs. He's also low on economy, of course, but he's in the base of Sziky, so he's really now forcing him to defend, so he doesn't really have the chance to do more recalls, so that's why he's not really focusing on drop defense as well. Okay, lots of vessels. That's a lot of vessels. So you usually see that many vessels in a TVZ game rather, not in a TVP. But yeah, it just comes handy. So lots of EMPs are fine, and defense matrix is also nice. Okay, the only problem with the expansion of Sziky is that he's not really continuing. He doesn't get more gateways, and well, he's low on economy, so he couldn't utilize those expansions really well because he doesn't have minerals. So what might be nice from him is getting like 10 more probes on the minerals, and then add more gateways, which he does, but he should add more, and then these expansions will be more effective. Okay, yeah, Sziky doing a nice job by slowly clearing the map. He doesn't want to go for the final attack. He is slowly checking the bases. He wants to make sure Sziky doesn't really have extra bases, and once the map is cleared, then he can focus on the final attack and go on the bust. Alright, Sziky is just moving outside now, and he managed to, yeah, I think he managed to add some more probes. He has more minerals now, so he's in a better spot right now as regards economy goes. But I have a feeling that he was just saving up, so he just didn't really make units at that time, and that's why he has more economy. But anyways, he just needs that. He badly needs minerals here to be able to reproduce units. Okay, so right now attention is split. Sziky has quite a so basically he has a few army here and a little here, and also yep, Sziky is having units here, and also at home he's really have to defend. But once Sziky managed to survive this attack, then he has the possibility to really move outside with all his units and start the final attack. Alright, he's doing that right now. He's really moving outside, and but the arbiter is coming inside now, and let's see this recall. This recall has to be perfect. Maybe he can consider going on the main. Let's see if he wants to kill this kill the command center. Yeah, that's what he does. This is his chance. Let's see if he manages to kill that. Not many tanks are available. He's not really repairing. He doesn't see this. Oh my god, this third this okay, so this is going down, and he didn't see this. So Sziky was not really paying attention to his main, and Sziky was able to kill that, and nice freeze there on the SCVs. So right now what he has to do is to survive this attack, because Sziky has all of his units outside. If he survives this push, then he might be able to stabilize in this game and get back in shape, and he might also win this game. Let's find out if he manages to survive this push by Sziky, who is really getting all his units. He wants to pump everything out, out everything he can, and he wants to finish this game. He knows this is his chance, because if he doesn't manage to finalize the game here, so to say, then he'll have a really hard time, because he won't really have economy, so his gas will evaporate really fast. So, okay, lots of tanks, lots of archers, lots of vessels are in the base of Sziky, who is really trying to defend here. He also knows this. He knows if he survives this, then he'll have higher chances to finish the game. So, okay, yeah, well, the final units of Sziky were able to finish the game. Nicely done there, that's a GG.